this into motion for you. Right along Highway 13, just on the west side of Highway 13, that's where we're seeing the best chance of circulation. I want to zoom in here. This is Highway 13, McCollum Road, Stewart Branch Road, where Stewart Branch Road goes into Highway 13, that intersection. If you live in this area, you know it. That's where we're seeing the strongest of the circulation and a strong sign that a tornado is on the ground. Also on the west side of Highway 13 along Old Highway 13, also likely to see some very rapidly changing weather conditions. Just on the southeast side of the circulation, down in through here is where we'd likely be seeing the tornado. Let me take a look at what the Weather Service is saying now. A tornado warning, by the way, will be issued shortly for Wayne County. Wayne County, you will be seeing a tornado warning here shortly. Tornado warnings now coming out for Dixon, Houston, Humphreys, and Stewart counties until 5:45 as the Weather Service tracking a severe thunderstorm still capable of producing a tornado right now near Hurricane Mills. That's the one we've been keeping an eye on for such a long time. Lots and lots of reports of trees down with the line of thunderstorms moving northward out of Alabama. That's why the severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Lawrence and Wayne County, or Lawrence and Giles counties, but tornado warning coming out soon for Wayne County. So a very active evening on tap. We're going to continue to see the tornado warnings flying, and we'll continue to track them here. The latest, here's Waverly. The center of circulation is going to cross Highway 13 on the south side of Waverly, which means that from the west side of Waverly, you're going to be seeing very heavy rain as you're already getting into it here, with a lot of lightning beginning too. And then the hail is going to be coming up, perhaps up to quarter size, at least dime size hail though, coming into the west side of Waverly, but on Highway 70 here. But it's going to be as you come from downtown Waverly on the east to the east on Highway 70 rather, that's where that center of circulation is going to be moving up. But all of Waverly will be affected by this storm in some way, whether it's the lightning, whether it's the hail, heavy rains, or very, very gusty winds. Meanwhile, again, down to the south is where we're seeing the strongest of the circulation crossing Highway 13 right now as it moves up to the north. I don't know, do we still have the shot along Interstate 40? Now, okay, we don't. The crew has fortunately taken shelter and is packed up. They might be wise, though, to slowly stay behind the storm along Highway 13 and follow it to the north out of danger, and make sure that we're seeing reports or getting reports. You would be right there in case there was any kind of damage to help report things in so that we have a better idea of what's going on as you make your way up Highway 13. Tornado warning for Lawrence and Wayne counties. Weather Service tracking a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Collinwood, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. Also, large hail has been reported in Humphreys County, quarter-size hail along Highway 13, just as we were mentioning a little earlier with this cell. Continuing to read some more information from the National Weather Service with these thunderstorms. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to show you all the warnings now for Middle Tennessee. We have any area in red, you are under a tornado warning. Areas of yellow under a severe thunderstorm warning. All of Middle Tennessee under a tornado watch until midnight. We're going to continue to see waves of showers and thunderstorms moving across the area, and with this, we're going to be seeing enough shear that any one of these thunderstorms could rotate and produce tornadoes. We have already had reports of tornadoes today, so this is one of those days where you're going to want to make sure that you stay tuned to News Channel 5, stay tuned to any warnings, and if your county goes under a warning, take it seriously and go ahead and take immediate action. Don't wait to take your action. Nashville, we're still some time away from any kind of storms affecting us. These thunderstorms coming up out of northern Alabama, affecting southern Middle Tennessee. Here's where the storm is that we've been tracking, though, the strongest here over the last few minutes, with the history of producing quarter-sized hail and also reports of funnel clouds and touchdowns and damage. The center of circulation crossing Highway 13 south of Waverly and near Stewart's Branch Road and Highway 13, but it's moving up to the north, so it's going to go a little farther north toward Vaden Branch Road and also Span Loop Road. So if you live near Span Loop Road and Highway 13, the circulation is going to be passing very close to you. Let me zoom out here. It's just updated again, so now it's a little farther to the north. Along South Buchanan Road in Humphreys County is where we are. South Buchanan Road, North Buchanan Road. This is getting closer and closer now to Waverly, but now it's crossed Highway 13. It is now east of Highway 13, moving to the northeast. There you see Waverly. So the center of circulation likely will continue to pass to the east, although you are going to get hail there in Waverly. A lot of lightning, tremendously heavy blinding rains right now at that intersection of Highway 13 and Highway 70, with the core of hail coming up into Waverly here in the next 2 to 5 minutes. Gorman, meanwhile, you're the little farther east on Highway 70, the Gorman community, you're going to be the community that's going to be seeing the center of circulation that we've had so many reports of funnel clouds and touchdowns of tornadoes. It's going to be moving very close to you. McEwen, too, along Highway 70 here, you're going to have to watch out for this cell. Anywhere in this part of Humphreys County, please take your tornado shelter and take your tornado, go ahead and put your tornado safety rules into effect. Other roads that are affected by the circulation: Johnson Hollow Road, East Blue Creek Road, over toward Little Blue Creek Road, Main Trace Road, and Gerson Place. These are all areas that are going to see that circulation pass very close to. So there it is. And let me show you the shear with it now. See, yeah, still showing signs of close to 70 miles an hour worth of shear down around Hurricane Mills, but actually it's up through here now on the other side of Highway 13. And taking a look again at the radar, that's where your circulation is. I'm going to zoom out and go down to southern Middle Tennessee to show you the storms coming up out of northern Alabama. This tornado warning, this is in northern Alabama, but it's going to come up into southern parts of Middle Tennessee, again along Highway 13 and up toward the Collinwood area. Let me put this into motion for you to see the fast motion about to cross the county line with some hail, and then once the hail passes by, then you'll see the likelihood of some rotational winds. And let me show you, this is going to be near the Cypress Inn, and will cross Highway 13 and affect the community right around Collinwood over the next few minutes here in the southern part of Wayne County. So southern part of Wayne County, especially from Collinwood south, you need to make sure that you are in your tornado safe area. Let me put a storm path on that, and if it continues to go where it has over the last few minutes, the center of circulation is going to be moving off toward the northeast at about 45 miles an hour and will be affecting these communities in the next few minutes. Johnson's Crossroads at 525, Lower Holly Creek at 546, Upper Holly Creek at 551, and West Point at 559. The Weather Service is saying damaging winds will be likely all across Lawrence and Giles counties, with the storms moving due north out of Alabama. A little wider view will show you where those storms are. They're stretching from that tornado warned cell back off toward the east. So Elkton, very strong winds coming into your area. I'll take a look at those here right on the leading edge of the cell. So Elkton coming up into Fayetteville, Pulaski over the next 30 minutes or so as this area lifts up to the north. We've also had at times a lot of lightning showing up with these, but these have a lot of wind energy with them. And then the most intense cells are a little farther back to the west, south of Collinwood, moving northeast. I'll orient you again to the entire area where we are. We've got a line of thunderstorms back to the west over West Tennessee. Individual cells ahead of the line moving off toward the north. And I'll put this into motion, and you can see the line, but how the cells ahead of them are moving almost due north while the line is moving to the east. So that's a sign of all the shear that we have in place across the region. The tornado warning continues now for Humphreys County. If you live in Waverly, you're about to, on the west side of Waverly, you're about to clear, you're clearing the hail. Meanwhile, the hail is to the northeast, moving on the east side of Waverly and moving up Highway 13. McEwen, this rotation is going to be passing very close to you. The rotation with this cell is right through here. Let me see what it looks like on the velocity data. Still showing up here, right in through here. And we'll cross Highway 70. It's turning and rotating so strongly, it's pulling in the drier air over here. It's actually bending into it, so that's why you get that little clearing notch. Still seeing the donut hole, the donut over Johnson Hollow Road, so East Blue Creek Road. And then a little farther north now, as you make your way closer to Highway 70, Gorman, the Gorman community, Old Blacktop Road, Little Blue Creek Road, and then eventually, as it holds together, Trace Creek Road. And in the community, the town of McEwen here, that rotation is going to be passing very close to you. So Gorman to McEwen along Highway 70, and just to point south right now, along that old Blacktop Road and Little Blue Creek Road, any roads that come into those, be in your tornado safe place, ready for this storm to pass you. Meanwhile, we've got the hail continuing to over around Waverly, getting numerous reports of hail as expected from Waverly. Also, tornado warnings continue across northern Alabama for the cells coming up into southern Middle Tennessee. This hail core is going to move along Highway 13 on the east side now, northeast of Waverly, as it continues. But that's a lot of hail there with the circulation continuing. Strong circulation, Little Blue Creek Road, East Blue Creek Road, moving up toward Highway 70 between Gorman and McEwen. Many storms to track today. The reason that you're hearing your weather radios go off, or maybe you're hearing the telephone alerts go off, is because in parts of Dixon County and Montgomery County, just the very southern part of the county is being warned for right now. The northwestern corner of Dixon County. At the moment, this does not include Dixon, but it does include Van Lear. And then Aaron, here in Houston County, you're likely hearing your tornado sirens and tornado warning go off. There you see Aaron. So the storm is going to be passing very close between Aaron and Van Lear over the next 20 to 30 minutes as it holds together. But there's your strong supercell thunderstorm still producing a lightning core here. Lightning, again, many times indications of the strength of the updraft with those thunderstorms to keep that storm going. To the south, these are the thunderstorms coming up out of northern Alabama. Tornado warning here. For Wayne County, you're seeing some hail here in the southern part of Wayne County near Gilchrist Road, near Cypress Inn, moving up toward Big Cypress Road. Also, we're going to see the center of circulation moving over George Olive Road and May Branch Road. Let me zoom back out here and show you this. This is kind of a line of storms, so the center of circulation sometimes not quite as well defined. These two areas are kind of fighting with each other for energy. But certainly, there's your center of circulation here. I'm going to take another look at the radar and kind of pinpoint where that circulation that's crossing out of northern Alabama up into southern Middle Tennessee for Wayne County, and it's going to move across eventually Highway 13 as it moves up toward Collinwood. A tornado warning continues into effect. I'm going to read some more information from the National Weather Service to you. Tornado warning continues here for Dixon, Houston, Humphreys, Montgomery, and Stewart counties, but just the very, very southern corner, just the very southern part of Montgomery County until 5:18, or at 5:18. National Weather Service, we're tracking a severe thunderstorm still capable of producing a tornado, and with a history of producing tornadoes earlier. Storm was near McEwen, moving northeast. Now they've increased the speed to even more to 50 miles an hour, so this storm can be on you very, very fast. Also, severe thunderstorm warnings continue for Giles and Lawrence and Marshall counties, but also we're seeing the tornado warnings here in this area that I was showing you just a moment ago. So all the red areas are tornado warnings for Wayne County, for the western part of Lawrence County, and then the tornado warning continues here for Humphreys County, Houston County, the very southeastern corner of Stewart County, and just barely the southern part of Montgomery County, and then about the northwestern half of Dixon County, although downtown Dixon is not in this warning as of now, but that's something we'll continue to watch. Taking a look at the storm itself again, right along crossing Highway 70 now is the center of circulation, very close to McEwen. So you're going to have to wait this one out another 10 minutes or so, 10 to 15 minutes until this gets clearly to your north. Looking at the radar data from it, the area of hail still there, northeast of Waverly, northwest of McEwen. Not quite as intense as it was, but we're still likely getting some. I know you're getting hail there along Ogden Road, and it's moving up toward East Big Richland Creek Road. And we've had reports of hail upwards of a quarter size today. But the center of circulation, if we had a tornado, it's going to be in this area, right coming in or very close to McEwen. Now the areas along Curtis Chapel Road, and some of it from downtown McEwen, Long Street West, as you make your way out of downtown on Highway 70, Fortner Road, also Railroad Street, any of those areas right in McEwen, and from really from around Indian Creek Road all the way back toward Fortner Road, that's where you need to make sure that you are hunkered down, waiting for this cell to pass. with strong rotation as it moves to the northeast, and a history of producing damage, and also a history of producing some lots of reports of funnel clouds and tornadoes. As it continues, it's going to be moving northeastward. I'll put you another track on it and show you it's moving now northeast at about 50 miles an hour. And so as that happens, it's going to very quickly be moving in these areas over the next few minutes. McEwen, obviously now, Yellow Creek at 5:47, Sladen 5:55, Marion 6:01, and Louise at 6:08. If it holds together, and it certainly looks like it has. It's been going on now for over an hour as it started over in northern parts of Alabama. And that's another thing with these individual supercell, we call them, thunderstorms. This particular one is out ahead of the main line, not associated with a cluster of thunderstorms. It's all by itself, doesn't have to really fight for energy. Now, what's going to happen, though, as time goes on, we're going to see the line here catch up to the supercell, and this will likely be occurring near the Tennessee state line with Kentucky up into Christian County. We'll watch to see. Sometimes those will kill the storms, and sometimes for at least a brief time it can help enhance the shear, and you can get reports of tornadoes as it kind of merges with the line. So that's something we're going to watch carefully. And then this big thunderstorm now coming up out of Alabama, moving into the southern part of Wayne County. Collinwood, you're likely going to be getting into some hail very soon. This is west, the worst of it's west of Iron City, although Iron City you're going to get some very heavy rains, and we've also got a lot of lightning just down here by the way, typically in storms that are producing a lot of hail, because they're associated with the updrafts too, the hail can indicate the strength of the updraft, which is an indication of the strength of the overall storm. But you're going to see the hail and the lightning kind of coincide, and that's what we're seeing here. So this is a very healthy cell coming up out of northern Alabama. Taking a look at the overall shear with it, and also the velocity data, the spinning data, that's going to be right in down through here, crossing the state line up into southern middle Tennessee now. And there you see the Collinwood community. Make sure that you're in your tornado warned area, your tornado safe zone. And now we've got the tornado warning including on the west side of Lawrenceburg, downtown Lawrenceburg, right there, not at the intersection of 64 and 43, not included, but as you head your way out to the west along Highway 64 toward Waynesboro, you are included in that warning. Quarter-size hail along Highway 13 between Lobelville and Waverly, and we continue to see large hail with these thunderstorms as well. That'll be a big threat. Here's Nashville. It's still quiet in Nashville, and you might be wondering, you know, what's all the talk about all the big thunderstorms, but that's where they're operating. It's to the west of Nashville, to the south of Nashville. You can see where you see these bright clusters of lightning. Those are the strongest individual cells. Moving off, the line is moving east, the individual storms are moving north. All of Middle Tennessee is going to see some thunderstorm activity as we go through the evening hours tonight. The strongest of the cells are likely going to be, the storms are likely going to be ahead of the line, and that's where we're seeing. And by the way, if you tuned in to News Channel 5 to see CBS Evening News, you can watch that on News Channel 5 Plus right now. News Channel 5 Plus. We're going to continue the coverage of a storm with a history of producing tornadoes, though, that's going through Humphreys County, about to go into Houston and the western part of Dixon County. It is moving up toward Clarksville, so we'll stay with it. It is continuing to be strong, but we also have a cell coming up into southern parts of Middle Tennessee here in Giles County and Wayne County. Wayne County tornado warning continues. The circulation is going to be crossing Highway 13 just on the southeast side of Collinwood here, but Collinwood, you're likely going to be getting into some at least dime-sized to quarter-sized hail in those bright areas of pink. I'll show you the hail estimation here where you get these really bright red colors. This is actually a little farther north now, but that's an indication of pretty easily quarter-sized hail with that thunderstorm. Also taking a look at the shear, you can see the shear where the wind energy is, and then moving back up to the north, there's your shear with the cell that's tornado warned here in the McEwen area. A few minutes ago, radar was estimating that winds were close to 70 miles an hour with that, and still estimating winds that are pretty close to that 72 miles an hour of rotational winds. I'm taking a look at some more information from the National Weather Service. Lots and lots of reports of hail through parts of Humphreys County with this thunderstorm. Let me zoom out just a little bit. Now the circulation, and a lot of times, again, we'll see these storms pulse up, then they'll weaken a little bit, and then they'll get strong again, and they'll kind of cycle through. And we've seen reports of tornadoes and funnel clouds all the way from just north of the Alabama state and Mississippi state line here across McNairy County, and then all through the region. A couple of sightings around Parsons a little earlier, and now it's up to the northeast of Waverly and moving off toward the northeast. It's really going to cross very close to that junction. This is the western part of Dixon County. This is Humphreys County. This is the eastern part of Houston County. So there's Aaron. Aaron, the storm is going to be passing to the east of you, close to Sladen, very close to the Dixon County, Houston County line. But right now, the center of circulation is right down here in the northeastern corner of Humphreys County. I'm going to zoom in and show you some of the roadways. Old Nashville Highway, Sheehy Road, White Oak Road, north of McEwen. But that circulation went right across McEwen here, and we're looking for reports from anywhere in this area too that would be reported to the Weather Service. We should get some information pretty shortly here of the storm as it passed through there. There's your hail core. This is going to be passing along just east of Highway 13 near Woolworth. We'll be crossing up